Hello, friend. Imagine looking out from an airplane window and seeing a coastline so breathtaking it hardly seems real. The Mediterranean glows in impossible shades of turquoise and emerald. Hidden white sand beaches curve around dramatic cliffs. Luxury yachts drift across crystal-clear bays, while ancient stone villages rest quietly among the hills. As the aircraft begins its descent, winding coastal roads, olive groves, and mountain peaks reveal themselves one by one, promising an adventure unlike anywhere else in Italy. Welcome to Sardinia, Italy's hidden island paradise, where untouched nature, world-famous beaches, timeless traditions, remarkable food, and thousands of years of history come together to create one of Europe's most extraordinary destinations. Stay with me until the end, because the final stop on this journey, a quiet fishing harbor under stars, might be the most memorable moment of the entire island. As we leave the airport behind, Sardinia wastes no time showing why it's often called Italy's best-kept secret. The road winds along dramatic coastlines where the sea sparkles in endless shades of turquoise and sapphire. On one side, rugged mountains rise above ancient forests and rolling vineyards. On the other, hidden coves and white sand beaches appear between towering limestone cliffs, each one more breathtaking than the last. Floating in the heart of the Mediterranean, Sardinia is far more than another Italian island. Long before the Romans arrived, the mysterious Nuragic civilization built thousands of massive stone towers known as Nuragic, many of which still stand today, offering a glimpse into one of Europe's oldest civilizations. As we continue, the island's capital, Cagliari, comes into view, built across gentle hills overlooking the sea. The city blends ancient history with modern Mediterranean life. Elegant marinas sit beside colorful waterfront cafes, while centuries-old churches, medieval towers, and cobblestone streets tell stories stretching back over 2,000 years. In the historic Castello district, every corner reveals panoramic coastline views, charming stone buildings, and lively piazzas where locals gather over espresso and conversation. Here, time seems to answer to no clock. It quickly becomes clear that Sardinia isn't simply a place to visit. It's a place to experience. From Cagliari, the road curves north toward the coastline that made Sardinia famous, the Costa Smeralda, the Emerald Coast. Its name comes from the sea's remarkable color, a shade so vivid it almost seems impossible until you see it yourself. White granite rocks frame quiet coves, while soft sandy beaches stretch into water that rivals the Caribbean. Luxury yachts anchor offshore. Yet many corners of the coastline remain peaceful and untouched. Every beach has its own personality. Some lively and lined with beach clubs, others reachable only by hiking trail or small boat, rewarding visitors with complete tranquility. Beyond the beaches, travelers spend their days sailing the Mediterranean, snorkeling above coral reefs, diving into hidden sea caves, or watching dolphins surface as the sun reflects across the water. As evening falls, the coastal towns begin to glow. Restaurants overlook quiet harbors where fishing boats rest beside luxury yachts, and the smell of freshly grilled seafood fills the air. Sardinian cuisine reflects centuries of tradition, blending the flavors of both sea and mountain. Fresh lobster, octopus, sea-based handmade pasta, traditional pecorino cheese, local olive oil, and the island's famous roasted suckling pig. Every meal ends with traditional Sardinian dessert and a glass of local wine, while the sky shifts into brilliant shades of orange, pink, and deep blue. Here, the true beauty of Sardinia isn't only in its landscapes. It's in the simple pleasure of sharing food and letting an evening unfold at its own pace. If this island is already on your travel list, take a second to like this video and subscribe. More hidden destinations like this are coming. But Sardinia's soul isn't only found along its glamorous coastline. Leaving Costa Smeralda behind, the roads climb into rugged mountains where quiet villages have remained almost unchanged for centuries, surrounded by forests, vineyards, and hills that seem to stretch forever. Here, life follows traditions passed down through generations rather than the pace of the modern world. In villages like Boza, Argasols, and Castel Ardo, colorful stone houses line narrow streets. Local artisans continue centuries-old crafts, and family-run bakeries fill the morning air with the smell of fresh bread. Every village carries its own story, its own festivals, its own character. Throughout the year, Sardinia comes alive with cultural celebrations. traditional clothing, ancient folk dances, and music played on instruments that have echoed across the island for hundreds of years. These festivals aren't just entertainment. They're living expressions of identity, connecting the present to a rich past. Beyond the villages, nature takes over again. Mountain trails wind through dense forests, dramatic canyons, and viewpoints overlooking the Mediterranean. Wild horses roam open landscapes, while golden eagles circle rocky peaks. Along the coast, hidden sea caves and secluded beaches remain untouched by mass tourism. As the sun sets, small piazzas fill with families. Cafes come alive with conversation, and restaurants serve recipes unchanged for generations. Nobody rushes through dinner here, and nobody feels pressure to move on to the next stop. It's in these unhurried moments that Sardinia reveals its greatest treasure, not just as landscapes, but a reminder that the richest travel experiences are often the simplest ones. A few practical notes if Sardinia is calling you. Late spring and early autumn tend to bring warm weather with fewer crowds than the height of summer. Most international travelers fly into Cagliari, Olbia, or Alghero, and a rental car is genuinely worth it. Many of the island's best villages and coves are only reachable by road. As always, check current entry requirements and travel advisories before booking, since conditions can change. As our journey across Sardinia draws to a close, one final stop remains. We return to the coastline just as the Mediterranean begins to glow beneath the fading light of the setting sun. Gentle waves wash against smooth granite rocks, while sailboats drift quietly across the horizon, their reflections dancing on water that still feels almost unreal. High above the sea, ancient villages shine with warm golden light, and narrow streets fill with laughter, music, and conversations over long dinners. In a small harbor town, an old fisherman mends his nets by lantern light, unhurried, as if the passing centuries had asked nothing of him but patience. Families gather nearby, sharing moments that have been part of island life for generations. As darkness settles, the sky fills with countless stars, broken only by the rhythm of the waves and distant church bells echoing through the hills. Sardinia offers something far greater than beautiful beaches or luxury resorts. It offers a different way of living, one where nature still shapes everyday life, where history is preserved rather than forgotten, and where every visitor is invited to be fully present, if only for a while. Long after the journey ends, memories of emerald waters, ancient stone villages, winding coastal roads, and warm Mediterranean sunsets stay vivid in your mind. Sardinia isn't simply another destination on a map. It's an island that stays with you, a reminder that some of the world's greatest treasures aren't the ones everyone talks about, but the ones you discover for yourself. Sometimes the most memorable journeys begin by choosing the road fewer travelers take. So tell me, if you had one day in Sardinia, would you spend it on the beaches of Costa Esmeralda, exploring the mountain villages, or wandering the streets of Cagliari? Let me know in the comments. If this hidden Mediterranean paradise left an impression on you, subscribe for more journeys like this one. And as we watch Sardinia disappear beyond the horizon, where will your next adventure take you? Thank you for watching.